We're backstage on location of the play ETHEL by the playwright Delores Rogers. And I have with me the entire cast, Mr. Tom Godfrey and Miss Valarie O'Hara. I actually should go the other way. Miss Valarie O'Hara and Mr. Tom Godfrey.
Yes, much more appropriate.
I think left to right. Lady, gentlemen, you know. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Really?
It was fun. Thank you. It was really a lot of fun.
Well, that sounds good anyway.
No. I know.
It was work, but it was fun.
Well, we've been working on this in one form or another for more than a year. As you know, we did it originally as a reading in your studio.
And everybody else out there is saying, a year?
Yeah.
But the play is only 11 minutes. Now how in the world could they spend a year working on an 11-minute play? And I'm serious. What is that process like? Were you rehearsing it every day for a year?
Not that.
No.
Not until the end.
No, but really, when we say a year, sometimes I don't think people realize how long a new play takes for, if you're developing a play rather than just rehearsing something like an established play that's been done already on Broadway or what have you. If you're developing a new play, then there are other things involved.
Yeah.
Like what?
Well, firstly, new plays, especially short new plays by authors who aren't established, it's harder for them to get an opportunity to have it read or have it presented. So when we say that we've been working on it for a year, it doesn't mean that we've been working on it daily or weekly. We work on it for a while, and then a number of months go by, and then the play comes back, and we work on it. So it's kind of fits and starts sort of thing. But certainly, every time you come back to the play, it's the same and yet it's different, because each time that you see it again, your own life has changed, and you see it in a different light, and you find things in it this time that you didn't the first time.
Now, should I ask how your life has changed?
No.
Because
No, there's nothing good about that.
We
not
won't
at all.
do that.
No, we won't.
No, we won't do therapy, because that's not what we do. What about you, Val? What is this process like when you take time to do a play in say, well, we developed this in the studio, in the Simon studio. What's that like?
Right, we were talking about that on the way here, that it was almost a year ago that we presented this as a staged reading at the Drama Bookshop. And we had rehearsed it not very long before that. Dev had brought the play into the studio, and she had different people read the play and worked on the changes to it. I'm sure you'll be talking to her about that later. But
and people talked about what they liked, what
they liked, what they didn't like, gave notes, and Dev went and she revised and she worked on the play. At that time, we got a lot of background from her. She told us the whole story of Ethel and Reuben, who were real people, and it gave me anyhow a lot of insight. I think both of us understood the characters a lot better. So in a way, that was part of the whole process too, getting to know who those characters are, trying to get them into through the writer, and through the writing, and put yourself into their place. And then when we brought it back again as something for Samuel French, it was a matter of trying different things. Every rehearsal was a little different.
It was a little different.
Yeah.
And then when we brought it back to the studio, we read it a couple of times for the class in the studio. Now, does this confuse you as actors? How it keeps changing? Isn't that? Do you like that?
Yes,
I love it. A lot of actors really want it set, and they kind of let's get this on. Does that kind of get in your way, or what?
No, actually, I can't imagine how your work could improve if you didn't worship change. How can you get better? I mean, you can try things, and if they don't work, as Edison said, he tried 30,000 things with the light bulb, and he knew, well, that's 30,000 things that don't work. And that's the process, that it's you try something, that's okay. You try something else, that's better. So it's an ongoing experiment, and that's the fun of it. I think half of it, the fun is learning and exploring and developing.
Now, if I could only come up with a light bulb.
The acting light bulb, that's right.
Right. But it would seem to me if you didn't change things, if you didn't keep exploring and keep looking, it would be so stale, and it really wouldn't be, I don't think it would be any fun. I mean, you might as well be, I don't know,
Is that for you,
yucky.
when you do theater, does that give you the chance to do that, say, more than when you're doing film? When you have very little time, you do 1 or 2 takes, and then it's forever that way, and you can't change it. Do you like that process of being able to keep changing it and letting it evolve? In film, you really can't do that, can you?
Right.
I mean, people don't realize that. You really have to. Once it's in the can, you're not
That's
going to
it,
change.
yeah.
You can't change it. Do you like that? I mean, do you like keeping the thing organically growing?
Always, absolutely. You know, I mean, I'm a typical New York kind of person, you know, a theater-oriented person anyway, you know. So for me, theater is always more alive to me, not only because it's more organic, because I'm working with the person, but because there are people out there too, and they participate in, as opposed to just being in a studio and all you have is the techies and the script people and that sort of thing.
Like we did with the
just like
television
this, that's
show.
right.
Television
That's
show.
right, just like the television show.
Well, that's interesting. So that, you know, the audience is like another character for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And helps you to see the play and see the character
Yes.
and the way they react.
Yes.
Well, now how do you make an adjustment after doing it for theater, which we did, right? And now we came in tonight and we redirected and shot it for television. No audience, nobody's sitting here. So how did that change things tonight? How did that change for you individually, the process? How did that change?
Well, we talked about this, but the major change is that the technical aspect of being on camera, because just visually, it's much closer. So just what the audience sees, you know, they see your eyebrows raised, and that means much more to them than would if they were sitting 20 rows back. So they, you know, and the other thing is the vocal aspect of it, that because the microphone is right there, you have the whole range of highs and lows and subtleties and things that aren't available to you on stage, and so you have a different kind of palette to play with.
Right.
Yeah, I think
And Val, for
especially,
you?
yeah, especially for this particular play, we were talking about that, how the actions between the two characters are so intimate that it's really nice not to have to project your voice when you're saying, "Oh, Reuben."
Yeah, right.
Oh, Reuben.
Yes.
I love you so.
I love you so, you bet.
And we love you guys for coming on Simon Studio Presents, and also for the terrific performances, which we really appreciated in ETHEL. So thanks for being with us
Well,
on stage.
Yeah, thank you for
In
tolerating
front of
us.
cameras.
Oh, thank you.
Valarie, see you back at the Simon Studio someday soon.
Someday
Yeah.
soon.
Okay, thanks. And there we have it, the actors from ETHEL by Delores Rogers.